Hello, beautiful souls. I thought I'd take a little walk with you today, and I hope you can hear what I can hear, because even though up here in the Northwoods, the leaves haven't popped out yet, it is absolutely bursting with new life, and you may be able to hear the birds, and the frogs are just going crazy. So I thought this would be a really great time to talk about the upcoming festival of the year called Beltane. And Beltane is one of the four great festivals of the ancient Celtic pagan world. And these four festivals they're not arbitrary. They're celebrated at the point in between the equinox and the solstice. Okay, so these are really powerful times of year. They're called the cross-quarter points. And historically, these were considered the gateways to the seasons. Now, anymore, we usually think of the beginning of spring as being the equinox and the beginning of summer as being the summer solstice. Well, traditionally, these were considered the midpoints of the season, right? So that's why we hear about like a Midsummer Night's Eve, the great Shakespeare play, was actually talking about the solstice as midsummer. Okay, so where was the beginning of the season? Well, the beginning of the summer season was Beltane. And this is, in modern times, celebrated on May 1st usually. It's also called May Day. But if you want to really follow the astrology of it this year in 2025, it's going to be falling on May 4th. And it's just a really powerful time of year. So when we do celebrations and so forth on the actual date, it can really hold a potent, powerful punch spiritually. All right, so what are some of the things that are associated with Beltane? Well, traditionally, we're looking at Beltane as a fire festival, okay? Why? Because it is the gateway to summer. It means that we're moving from this watery, earthy springtime into the fire of summer. Not only that, because it is like the time of culmination of the spring, new beginnings, right? So it is everything that we think about springtime as well is going to be celebrated in Beltane, but also really thinking about moving into that fiery season of summer. Okay, so Beltane is all about fertility, rapid growth, expansion, manifestation, abundance, all those good things. Also sexuality, right? Because that is our physical body's way of manifesting the life force energy and bringing more life and energy into the world, right? It's about energy and fire and drive, right? Making things happen. So it's a really exciting time of year, and it can be a really exciting festival. Now, historically, you can look at Beltane festivals as like anything else. There's light sides and dark sides to it. There were times where there were like big orgies and so forth. You can judge or not as you choose. But I think it's really important to understand that any time that we have a religious ceremony or ritual, there's going to be two aspects to it, right? There's going to be the more obvious kind of earthly level of symbolism, and then there will also be a mystic level of symbolism associated with any ritual. Okay, and the mystic level is really helps to prepare the spirit for ascension, okay? And so I'd like to share a little bit when I did some mystic inquiry around Beltane. I was directed to consider one of the ancient Beltane rituals, which had to do with livestock. And what they would do would be to build two big bonfires, and then they would drive the livestock, the cattle and the sheep and so forth, the hogs, through these bonfires. And the idea was that they're being purified after like the whole winter often spent in the barn, right? Sending them through these bonfires would help to purify and strengthen them, give them some, fire to move forward. So, and then they were driven between these two bonfires into the summer pastures, right, where they would receive the greatest amount of nourishment for the year, right? So it was important for them to get that kind of spiritual boost of strength and energy and power, so that they would do their best over the summer to help to bring abundance and wealth and prosperity from the land to the people through the animals. Okay, so that's the more surface level symbolism of that particular ritual. But what I was shown was that there's that mystic level as well, and the meaning of that, as I understand it, is that as human beings we have our animal nature, we also have our angelic nature, and they have to work together, right? And so the idea is, by ritually sending these animals through the fires and between the fires, on the more subtle psychic level, what we're doing is we are sending our animal nature through to be purified. Okay, so that purification of the animal nature, and also we are consciously driving it. So a big part of the journey is to learn to, compassionately work with the animal self, and to transcend our animal nature, right, so that we can be this spiritual presence on earth and bringing spirit down to earth. And to do that, we have to become the master of that animal nature and not let it run rampant. So this idea of Beltane is that we can acknowledge these powerful drives that we have within our animal selves that we have to work with, right? The drive of sexuality, the drives of fear, right? The drive to wanting to procure, right? To find the things that we need to thrive on this physical level. All these are animal drives that we need to be really aware of, so that we can harness these, use these, drive these, and not be just led around them. Okay, and this is not a judgment thing. It's not saying that the animal nature is bad at all. It's really saying that it needs to be understood, and we need to work with it so that it is, not just pulling us around by the nose. So at this time of year, through meditation, through inquiry, through ritual and ceremony, we can call in blessings and assistance to help us to control and purify our animal nature, so that we can mindfully direct it to fuel and bring energy to our devotional practices, and to assist in bringing our deepest desires into physical reality in alignment with the direction of our higher selves. Right? So with that in mind, I would like to invite you to the next Lightworkers Cafe gathering, which I will be hosting this Sunday, May 4th, right on the astrological date of Beltane. We are going to work with our animal spirits, and in order to do some of this deep inner work of purification, and also of helping us to direct those energies in positive ways. This will be held on Zoom. It is free. You just need to sign up for my email newsletter list. The intention of this is not to sell you stuff. It's simply a private membership group that, like a congregation, that we meet twice a month, and we just come together in community. So if you are feeling inspired to join us, that would be wonderful. I'm going to put the link to join in the description box below. Have a wonderful Beltane, and remember, you were born to be free.